What's up, YouTube? Georgia Silver Hunter back, and today we are doing another huge customer wrap coin roll hunt. This is from one of my third or fourth tier Wells Fargo banks. They're closed on Saturday and Sunday, so I don't get out to them very often, but I went in with $500 in cash, and the guy said I could easily fill that, so what do you want? So we ended up getting 300 in quarters, 100 in nickels, really this whole section's nickels, and 100 in dimes. So I'm really excited to get into this change. Customer wrap rolls are always a crapshoot. You never know what you're going to get. Maybe they've all been searched. Maybe they're from the neighborhood kids and there's going to be all kinds of cool things in there. Or stuffed with lint. Who knows? Let's jump into them and find out. So like most of my multi-denominational hunts, we will be starting with the dimes. I do have a document in the description down below this video, and I'll throw up on the screen here really quickly what we'll mainly be looking for within the dimes. The big thing is silver, which would be anything pre-1965. Those would be 90% silver, and that's really what I'm hoping to find. But of course, if we can get our hands on an error or two, those can always fetch some decent money as well. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into these rolls, and I will bring you in as soon as I find something. But if you're new to coin roll hunting, dimes are tough. Don't be surprised if we get straight to the wrap-up for this little section and move on to either the nickels or the quarters. We'll see how I'm feeling. So I am 7 rolls in. I went through the first 5. Here's roll 6. I've been laying them out 5 at a time, but I just laid out roll number 7, and look here on the end. You see that solid silver edge? That typically means that it's going to be 90% silver. If it's not, you can stick a magnet on it. It'll stick to it. That's the other common thing you find in the U.S. You find Canadian dimes that are magnetic. But in this case, I've already looked at it because I made a short about it and posted it prior to getting this whole video out. But we have a 1963 Denver silver dime. I'll take it. So we are done with the dimes, and all we had to show for it was this 1963 Denver, which, as I said earlier in the video, is $1.55 worth of melt value and 90% silver. Anytime you hunt dimes and walk away with some silver, it is a win. And I did want to stop here just to bring you guys in. When I do customer wrap rolls and I return them, I do just simply put a little dot on the wrappers, because sometimes I drop off customer wrapped and pick up customer wrap from the same bank, so I want to make sure I'm not getting my own rolls back. It's just something simple I do. I'm not real extravagant about it. You know, I'm not putting my initials or account numbers or anything like that on it, but it has saved me in the past from getting my own rolls back. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into our $100 worth of nickels. Second roll out, we have our first 50s nickel of the hunt. It's a looks like a 1957. Let's check for a mint mark here. 1957D. We're on roll number 3, and we have our first 40s nickel. It's a 1949. Now, if it is a Denver, we might have a D over S possibility. Let's check it out. It is a D. And I am not seeing any S. Same roll, and it was the very last coin. I had to put it under the scope to be able to read it. Let's see if we can see it. Yeah, under this magnification on the camera, you can tell it is our second 50s nickel, a 1959. And I don't see a mint mark. Hang on, let's see. It is a Denver. If I put it under the scope, you can kind of see it here under 5 times magnification. But a 59D. So I'm on roll number 4, and actually very early in the roll, I found another 1959D, but I wanted to stop bringing in for this one because it is just stunning. This is an absolutely gorgeous 1959 dime. You don't find them like this very often anymore. That is almost guaranteed to be an upgrade to the book, and we've got some steps. It's probably not full steps, but that is a good looking dime. I'm going to definitely put that aside, and that'll go in a flip or, like I said, hopefully an upgrade to my book. Same roll, and we now have our earliest nickel of the hunt. We have a 1940. Looks like a Philadelphia. So we are on roll 10, and we have our next 40s find. It is a 1946. Looks like a Philly. So we are on roll number 11, and we have our next 40s find. It is a 1947, actually in pretty decent shape. It is a Philly. We're on roll 13 and we have another find. It's a 50s this time, 1958. Let's check it out here. It's a 1958 Denver. We've got roll 17 open and I'm bringing you in. I've already checked it because I laid it out and noticed the color difference. And hopefully you can see it right there. It's a little bit darker and that's indicative of a war nickel. Now, it doesn't always work out that way, and that's why I checked it first, but we have a 1942 Philadelphia war nickel. Now, you can tell war nickels because the mint mark is above the Monticello building, and war nickels were only made from 1942 to 1945. 42 is a split year. Not all 42s are made of 35% silver, but up through 45 they were. So I'll take it. This is silver in our nickel hunt. I love it. Same roll. We have another 40s nickel. This time we've got a 1948. Let's check for a mint mark. I see a mark over there, but it doesn't look like a mint mark. So 1948 Philly. We're on roll 23, and we're about halfway through the roll, give or take, maybe a little bit more, and we have our first foreign of the box. Now, one of my favorite things to do with our Canadian money is I've got these little rare earth magnets, and most Canadian currency is, in fact, magnetic. So we have a 1974 Canadian 5-cent piece. Just broke into roll 24, and we have our first 54 of the hunt. This is 1954. Oh, just dropped it. Where'd he go? Let's see here. It is a Philadelphia. We are 35 rolls in, bringing you in for the next find, and it's a crispy one. Looks like he's been in a fire. 1953. Looks like a Denver. First 53 of the hunt. So we are down to our next to last roll, and we have another find, this time a 1955. Not in that bad a shape. Now, the 55 Philly is a semi-key date. The Denver is not. And in my last hunt, I found like 3 55Ds and no Phillies. So let's cross our fingers. Look at that. We got the Philly. 55 semi-key date. Awesome. I'll see if that's an upgrade in my book, or I'll just throw it in a flip. That's pretty awesome. Well, this is the next to last roll that won't stop giving. Here we are, just again, probably about 10 nickels later. We've got a 1951 Denver. Well, that wraps up the nickels, and I wanted to bring you guys in to walk you through them, and we do have a couple of upgrades for our book. Now, I do have a hunt and fill series going on, and we're not filling any holes in this, so I'm okay not making it part of that series, but I do have a couple of upgrades that I will go ahead and put in this book. I don't want to miss them. But to go back through everything, we ended up with that 1974 Canadian nickel. We had 3 1940 Philadelphias. We, of course, any nickel hunt where you walk away with some silver, so this 1942 Philadelphia war nickel is amazing. I love finding my silver. We had, I believe these were all Denvers. No, they were all Phillies. 3 1946 Phillies. We had a 47 Philly. We had a 48 Philly. These 49s, I think, were both Denvers. Yep, they were. We had that crispy 1953. We had a 54 Philly. This semi-key date, it wasn't an upgrade. I checked the book. Come here. I checked the book. It wasn't an upgrade, but this is a semi-key date. I'll put the mintage on the screen here for you. This is something we'll just throw in a flip and hang on to because it is a much lower mintage year. We had a couple of 57s, a couple of 58s, and 3 59s that I have on the board, but I actually have a couple of more down here in my upgrades. So this 51, while not a great nickel, is an upgrade to the one I have in my book, and this is a 51D. So this tells you just how bad the 51D in my book is, that's an upgrade. I had 2 just spectacular looking 59 Denvers that came out of that box or out of those customer wrapped rolls. Either one of those could be an upgrade, and I'll just pick the best one and stick it in there. And I had this really, really nice, and I didn't bring you guys in for this, I don't think, but this really nice 1967. That's a Philadelphia as well. We got a little bit of a scratch there on the back, but That's a beautiful nickel. As for the book, if you guys want to see the holes here, we can jump in here real quick. You can see we are missing a lot of the early 30s. We're missing a couple of war nickels. But here's my 51D. My 51D is in sad, sad shape. And if I get over here, I think the 59 Denver is right here. Come on, you can focus. Not a bad looking nickel that I have in there, but definitely one of those other two will be an upgrade. And that 67 as well, which is right here. Not a terrible nickel in my book, but I definitely have an upgrade there on the table. But I'll go ahead and slot those in off camera. But just really happy to get 3 upgrades for the book. And honestly, I think we had about 23, 24 finds, all in all, in this hunt. And I think that's great for $100 worth of nickels. So anyway, we're going to get these put away and get on to the quarters. Okay, well, here we are with our quarters. We have 30 rolls. We will be looking for really any of the new state and America the Beautiful, any of the current 2022 errors or varieties. We'll also be looking for silver, which is anything 1965 and earlier. Of course, we'll always keep our eye out for S-clad business strikes and S proofs. And also, we'll be looking for those West Point quarters. So those are 2019s and 2020s marked with a W mint mark. But I'm going to go ahead and I'll jump into these quarters and I will bring you guys in at our first find. We're on roll number 3, and I wasn't going to bring you in for this first one, but I've actually got 2 things to show you now, so I figured I would cover them both. We found a 2008 extra cactus error, and the coin's in actually really darn good shape. Let me put it under the scope for you. This is where you can see that little piece of metal right, where am I going here? Sorry about that. This little piece of metal right here, it's called the extra cactus error, and it covers up the JIM, which is in the engraver's initials. So that's the first one. The second one that I wanted to show you guys was this 2021 Crossing the Delaware. There is the one you're really looking for. It's a die chip that covers the whole crown, or the whole top of the hat. It's called the crown error. And these are, the bigger the die chip, the more they're worth. And this is actually a pretty good size one. It starts at the back of the hat, but you can see it goes from the very base of the hat all the way up to the top of that first lip and actually encroaches in on the letter E. So this is a pretty good sized die chip, and this is something I'll hang on to because the coin's in pretty good shape as well. So I just got roll 13 out of the wrapper, and I got briefly really excited when I saw that solid silver edge, but when I looked at it a little closer, you can see that the reading is very different than our US quarter, so probably a foreign. And like with the nickels, I like to use my little magnet that I have here just to see if it's magnetic, just like that. And we have a 25 centavos from Republica Dominicana. So the the Dominican Republic. There we go, 1991. First foreign on the box. I didn't actually bring you in on another roll, now that I'm thinking about it. I was overstuffed by a dime. So I had my 40 quarters plus a dime. So I'm 10 cents ahead there, and now 25 cents behind with my foreign. But we do like finding foreign coins. They're a lot of fun. We have reached the end of our quarter hunt here, and this is going to be the final wrap-up of this video. We'll start down here with the basic stuff. We did get overstuffed with a dime, so we made 10 cents there. We did get the 25 centavo Dominican Republic quarter. We did have that very minor DDR in the Dr. Sally Ride quarter. I don't see a lot of these. I've also just recently started looking for them. So, you know, in this $300, this was the only one I found, and I looked at a whole bunch of them. I don't think I brought you guys in on this because I just covered this in a recent video, but there is a die chip in the Wilma Mankiller quarter right here in the hair. You can see it just under this magnification. It's not worth very much money, but it is something that I just wanted to pull and show you guys. Just like the Crossing the Delaware, all the big money is on the huge die chip that covers the whole crown. This one will fetch pretty good money for the size that it is, maybe $8, $9, $10, something like that on eBay. I did find 2 others that were much smaller, and this is, I just pulled these so you guys could see them. You can see how much smaller that little tiny die chip is there in the corner of the hat. That's one, and that is number 2. I did find also 2 of the Arizona with the little die chip down here, the extra cactus over the initials. And as usual, I did end up with 6 bicentennial Philadelphia quarters and 1 Denver bicentennial. And those Denvers, we always want to remember to check those for that DDO, double die obverse, and you can see it in the lettering in the BERT. And I've never found one, so I'm always on the lookout. Outside of that, really the other big finds, just to recap them, I'm not going to pull all the nickels out, but anytime you can find a war nickel in a nickel hunt, it's a win. And we did have our 1955 Philly semi-key date. And as I said in the very beginning of this video, anytime you find silver in a dime hunt, it is a score. It is a win. You got to take it. So with that said, I'm going to wrap it up here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a lot of fun. We got to hunt 3 different denominations, $500 worth of coins. I know I enjoyed it. I hope you guys did too. If you did, drop down below this video, click on that like button, and leave me a comment. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel and you like coin roll hunts, please do consider clicking on that subscribe button and then clicking on that little bell and selecting all so you get notified each and every time I release a new video. And this weekend is going to be your Black Friday sales and your Cyber Monday sales. And don't forget to look in the description down below for my AppMex affiliate link and my Amazon affiliate links if you're in the market for any silver or gold purchases or any equipment from Amazon. I'd really appreciate it. Every sale I make, I do earn a small commission, and it just helps out the channel. So with that said, I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. I hope you guys have fun as we move in towards Christmas. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.